Hey people, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. This 120 Prado has been dropped off. It's had the injectors replaced by another company, but he feels it's not running right, it's running rough, or it's got a misfire. He thinks it's got a lazy or a dud injector or something. It does look like the injectors may have been replaced, certainly not the fuel pipes, and the whole procedure not that good, because we can see things like the clamps there not fitted properly, right? So we don't really trust the job, and we don't trust the bonnet struts either, because it's already fallen down once. So guys, please, if you've got the older vehicles and your bonnet's not holding itself up, replace these bonnet struts. We've got information on that in some other videos. So we've got the scan tool plugged in. Let's get in there, start it up and see what it sounds like, see what's going on. So we're using the Vidant 800 Pro for this one, and it automatically does a test, and then we need to just click on that and it'll come through and we can select the live data, and then we'll get the vehicle started and have a bit of a listen to it and see if we can work out any issues it's got. I mean, I'm sort of saying there's no point replacing one injector. We need to do the whole job properly, but then I don't want to waste your $4 or $5 grand if the job's been done, if you know what I mean. So we really need to, we had a look at this when it was hot at full temp and we couldn't see a problem with it. I'm not really comfortable with replacing someone's injectors that there's nothing wrong with. And there's a few other things it could be, so we're going to sort of run through a few of those. We've got some live data here. The load's going to be one of them. Let's just get it started up and see what happens. He says it's rattly when it's cold. Well, it's got a loud exhaust, it's got a big exhaust system. MAF reading. Cold engine, so take that into account. Load, cold engine. So let's just quickly have a look, go down, see what else we've got. Look at the feedback values. People, injection volume 12.8, not too bad. Feedback values, nothing too bad going on there. Sorry about the light situation. There I am. There you go. You got to see me. Hey everybody, how you going? Right, pilot 1, pilot 2. Yeah, it all looks normal. This looks pretty good. So what I want to do is actually drive it. Right, fuel pressure is put in the long SCV, so that's all right for a cold engine. So I'm going to go for a drive. I'll let you know if we notice anything. Sounds pretty normal out here at the moment. I've just gone for a drive, and my diagnosis at the moment is there's nothing wrong with the vehicle. It could probably do with some engine mounts because it's a little bit rough through the, you know, the old 120s with the engine mount problem. If you don't know what I mean, watch the other videos, search engine mounts on our channel, tell you all about it. But it's not the cause of anything. There's nothing wrong with these injectors. Drives really well. It's actually must have a chip tune, a remap, or a throttle controller. It actually drives really well. So let's have a look for the throttle controller, shall we? That's probably the first thing. Let's have a look and see if it's plugged in anywhere down here. No, nothing plugged in there. So I believe it's either had a remap or a tune of some sort, and if that's the case and it's making noises, rattles and misfires, well, it's now a non-standard vehicle, which makes it difficult to diagnose even further. So current diagnosis is there's nothing wrong with it other than it's got a chip or a tune, which makes it drive really well. Have fun for now. You know how it could end up based on averages. I'll try and find out more about if it's got a chip or a tune or a remap and let you know. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, nah, look, at the end of the day, I spoke to the client and he doesn't, I can't see a throttle control anywhere. Neither of us have seen any chip anywhere. And it could be a remap or a tune, but he doesn't know that. Could have been the previous owner, but then it's sort of unlikely. You wouldn't imagine on this particular vehicle that would be the case. So then I thought, other reasons why it could have so much power and responsiveness. And I went, well, if it's got some petrol mixed in with the diesel, that'll give a bigger bang for its buck, perhaps. And then I thought, well, if you had petrol in the diesel tank, that could cause it to do this, the way it's running and misfiring, carrying on, that sort of thing, and probably blowing smoke. So then I thought, has someone put petrol in by accident? So what I'm about to do next is take a fuel sample. That's what I'm about to do. Stay tuned and we'll see if it smells like unleaded. So I should actually tell you, the thing he said was it started doing it about 2 weeks ago, whatever, a week or two, whatever it was. And he just filled up the car, and since then it's been running better. So that's a little bit of a tip there. Bingo, people, bingo. There's your problem, okay? So unleaded. So you can tell by the color of the fuel. You can actually tell by the viscosity of it. See how, I'll tell you what, Oh yeah. So he's put diesel in and it's come good, but it's still got a lot of unleaded in there. So what needs to happen is, I'm going to find out, I think that tank was pretty empty. So what needs to happen is now it needs to be filled up, right? And what we'll do then, look, check out our other videos. Check out our playlist. I'll tell you how to get the playlist, right? Fuel filter videos, right? So while you're looking at this, you'll notice diesel's normally a lot yellower. It's like I peed in it on a dehydrated day. Except it's thicker, of course, because it's more oily. This is a lot lighter. This is good for cleaning car parts, you know, if you want to. Yeah, not the best on your skin or breathing it in. So diesel, it hasn't got as much smell, you know. Have a smell of your diesel, have a smell of your petrol. So, you know, it's one of the things you got to do. Can you imagine we just went and replaced these injectors? We would have just wasted all the money, possibly damaged a set of injectors. I mean, this set could be damaged, but I think they're fine. The truth of the matter is, you know, all sorts of diesel places and people online will have you believe all sorts of things to sell you fuel system parts, but I'm not like that. I'll tell you that you can run unleaded through these pumps and injectors on these 1KDs. They're bloody awesome. Get the fuel out. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to change the fuel filters and we're going to fill it up with diesel. And so we'll fill it up with diesel first. We'll drive it back and then we will change the fuel filters. Happy days. And it'll be, yeah, basically thinned out to a minimum. There's been a number of vehicles this has happened to, so that's where we know everything will be okay. That would be why it's blowing smoke, not running right, like a misfire, and that'd be why we've got no symptoms now at all whatsoever, because more diesel's been added. So I don't know how much he put in there. Let's have a look at the gauge, because he did say it was pretty empty. That's why he got fuel, but he didn't fill it up. So let's go and have a look. Okay, so fuel gauge. Not putting much in it because it's only on 3/4 on the 90 litre light. So he's probably put $100 in or something like that. It's going to need to be filled up. So I hope that fuel fill hose has been replaced. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you really need to be watching the videos, not just to see what, you know, bit of unleaded, right? You need to be watching the videos because the fuel filler hose on the 120s needs to be replaced. They've possibly upgraded it. It's not a problem on the 150s. At this stage, we haven't seen any vehicles or heard from anyone with a leaking filler hose on the 150. The 120s, especially the petrol models, especially ones that have had petrol in them. Even the diesel ones will eventually leak. They'll crack. So if this vehicle doesn't get filled up and we fill it up, it could end up with a lot of fuel everywhere. So really, that fuel filler hose needs to be replaced as well. So I'm going to speak to the client because that's how we roll. Do I need to end the video here and say subscribe, turn the bell on for the real information, save yourself some money, get the correct diagnosis before we jump in? And how simple is that? A few basic checks. This doesn't make sense. There's got to be something going on. Put on the thinking cap, start thinking about it, listen to what people say, go for a drive, look at the diagnostic tool. Hey, let's have a smell of some fuel. Oh yeah, that's got unleaded in it. 100%, no doubt about it, by the sniff and by the colour. And if you want me to do it, I'll have a bit of a splash around in there as well. Let's just see, because what diesel does, diesel, you don't really feel it on your skin and it stays wet, right? You can even see, you know, I'm sure some people have put their hands, see that bubbly stuff? That's what you get from petrol, right? Petrol does that. See, it's a cleaner. Look, diesel will clean a little bit, but see that? You know what I mean? It's like, you know when you were young and dumb and you did things cleaning in petrol? See the bubbly? You won't get that with diesel. I'll show you in another video. Check out our playlist, fuel filters. It's called fuel filters or changing fuel filter. How do you find our playlist? Okay, you go on your YouTube page, on your phone, whatever, you click subscriptions, then you'll see 4x4 Diesel, because of course you're subscribed with the bell on, and then you click on that, 4x4 Diesel, it'll open our YouTube page, then you click on playlists on our page, and it's got all the playlists I've put together for you to help your education. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you didn't hang around to this point, you didn't work out what the problem was, and you'll be none the wiser for next time. That's why you stick around. Now, let me know in the comments, should I have just ended the video now, or should I just continue and let you know how things go and show you a few more things? So I just spoke to the client. We're going to roll with a plan. I can confirm correct again. He put $100 in. It was pretty low, put in 100, brought it up near the 90, so probably put 50 litres in. So probably had, I reckon, 20, 30 litres of a mix in there. So it's probably about 20, 30% unleaded still. That much has gone through it now. If it's done any damage, it's done. What we want to do now is just thin it out. So as I said already, in a circumstance like this where the fuel is very low, even if there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, maybe even 20 litres by accident, some people are going to say I'm crazy, but I'm not here to sell you a whole fuel system for 10 grand like, many other places are going to do that. I'm going to fill it up. If it was my car, fill it up with diesel. A bit of unleaded every now and then is probably actually good for it, truth be known, but I'm not recommending that either. But if it happens, it happens. We've dealt with this before. It's not a problem for the engine, the supply pump, injectors, well, you know, wear and tear items anyway, so hard to say whether that reduces the life of the injectors, possibly a little bit. You probably get a bit more wear on the nozzle needles with that wrong. Anyway, it gives everything a good clean up, and to be quite honest, I just tipped that fuel into one of our oil drain trays and it cleaned it up like it was unleaded fuel, not diesel. So there's still quite a bit of diesel, but we know by the calculations it's probably 30% unleaded. Once we fill it up, we'll be able to fit another over 100 litres in there, and we'll be well and truly thinned out. And then I've instructed him to keep topping up the tank. Happy days. It's already running well the way it is now, a bit too well, so we'll calm that down a little bit. And so we're going to replace the fuel filler hose. Hang around to the end. Yep, we keep them in stock. This is the last one actually. I've ordered a bunch more, but waiting for those. There's the part number in case you've got a 120 Prado. I highly recommend you take my advice and replace that hose. It only comes with one clamp for whatever dumb reason, so you reuse one. For the rear fuel filter, this is the part number in Ryco. You can use whatever cheap brand you want. It's just a bit of a pre-filter. The main thing is, what I recommend you do is give a bit of a compressed air blow at each end of this fuel filter, because the design is, it's meant to stop crap getting into the Venturi in the tank. So if you've got manufacturing debris or anything in this one end of the filter, it can go straight in and cause problems. And this is one of the good but cheaper brands of fuel filters we use on the Prados. As it says, guaranteed highest quality, made in Japan, Nitto. You can see the part number there, and it's equivalent of the 2339030. The manufacturing looks exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if this manufacturer is the same as the genuine Toyota ones. They look so similar. So we'll get those on. It'll be running sweet. There's not really any further to do here. If you want to see about changing that fuel filler hose, search it on our channel. Just write fuel and see what comes up, or filler and see what comes up, or hose. Search on our channel, on our 4x4 Diesel channel, and I guarantee you there's probably, you know, at least 1, 2 or 3 videos changing that filler hose, changing the fuel filters. Hope you understand what I've gone through today. I've done my best to explain it. I noticed a few people putting in the comments, well explained, so I hope this is well explained again. Thanks for watching. I'm here to help. Bada bing, subscribe, turn the bell on. Catch ya.